What's up, everyone? It is your girl, GELBEAUTY 87 here, aka Grace, and I figured we go to the last declutter 2023. Although this is the only declutter I have actually done on camera with you all. I do go through my collection every once in a full moon, try to get rid of lip products and like face products and stuff. I rarely get rid of eye products, but I actually have a few eyeshadow palettes in here today, so I think y'all should be proud of me, because if you know anything about the channel, I don't really declutter eyeshadow palettes. That's why y'all get an eyeshadow palette collection video. She doesn't actually get rid of any eyeshadow palettes too much, just because, you know, it's my favorite thing. But I got a few face things. I got a few eyeshadow palettes. I got some, you know, some tips and tads, if you will. I got a whole bunch more stuff, but this is just the stuff I figured you'd probably be interested in, which is mainly eyeshadow palettes, because y'all know I talk about them a lot. So I'm gonna start off with a few face things I have, then we're gonna go into the eyes, and then we will call it a day, girl. This is the last declutter of 2023 that's gonna be filmed. So I'm starting off with this Femme Rose palette. Now this is 100 years old. This is from the collection, what's the girl's name? Karuchi and ColourPop. So this is what it looks like. It has a blush. Sorry, it has a bronzer, it has a blush, and it has a highlighter. The bronzer actually did work okay for me. It wasn't the best. Like, if you put a cream one on and then put this underneath, even though creams weren't popular then it worked out nicer. But I think it's a really nice color. I really like this face palette. I didn't use it that much, but I got an okay amount of use out of it for how long I've had it. But it's kind of old, so I'm finally just ready to let it go. Then I have my Ulta Cosmetics Brighten and Bronze Complex Trio in the shade Dark Rich. I got the newer version of this, basically, which is why I'm getting rid of this old version. But there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I plan on giving it to my cousins just because, you know, like, I feel like it'd be nice bronzers and, like, under eye powder for them. At least it's under eye powder with this bronzer. Like, they're lighter than I am, so I don't think they can use this one. Their grandma can probably use it, though. So, I don't know. They can fight over and figure out who will do what. I don't know. But, yeah. That one I have to get rid of because I have the newer, updated version and formula. Next thing I have is my Natasha Denona Love Glow Cheek Palette. Now I've held on to this a while because I like this diamond powder. I'm sorry, no, not that one. I like these two highlighters here, but I have so many Natasha Denona highlighters and face palettes that time. Like, I don't really need these two here, and that's the only reason I was keeping them. Plus, she came out with that Love one the next year with the cream and the highlighter. I like the highlighter in there better, and I don't think they make this one anymore, which is another reason I was like, let me go ahead and get rid of it, because it's like, I've had it for a while. Y'all know this collection came out, I want to say like 2021 this collection came out. Don't quote me. So I'm like, I don't really need to be hoarding on to stuff like that, because, you know, it's just too much. It's taking too long. Believe it or not, I'm getting rid of one of these Jacqueline, what is this, blush and bronze and blushing duo. This is the deepest one in Be Rogue and Espresso Shot. So I like the lighter one, the one that Karen uses. That's the one I usually use the most. So I figured I'd go ahead and get rid of this one, especially since we don't know what's going on with the brand. And I know my cousin's grandmother can use this one. It'll be really nice, and she'll have a bronzer and a blush that I know will work for her, because she's a little bit darker than I am. So I feel like this would still be good and work out nicely for her. So I'm willing to let it go, because I know that she'll be able to use it, and that works for me. Okay, only a couple more face things left, and then we get to these eyeshadow palettes. So I have these UOMA Beauty Trippin' Smooth Powders. Now, I liked these for a little bit, but once they came out with that one that I really do like, I was like, let me go ahead and get rid of these, because I don't ever really reach for these. Aside from the fact, I don't know what's going on with this brand as far as like being sold or what, because I heard that they can't be sold in certain places now or something like that. So I don't know if the brand's in trouble and what's going on. So I figured I would just go ahead and get rid of these, because I don't use them anyway, and I have one that I do like from them, so I'll have something to reference and buy. So I have the shade Honey, which is the lighter one, and I have the shade Rich Tan, which is the one for my face. So my cousins can figure out how they want to do it and what they're going to do with it, but yeah, I decided to let it go. Now this product I told y'all in the video when I first did the review that I wasn't keeping this. This is Glam Light Setting Spray. The sprays are really weird, and I didn't really see a difference in the way my makeup held up. And since we know me, I own so many setting sprays, I didn't really see the point of holding on to this. So I'm going to go ahead and let it go. And I literally only used it in that video, y'all. I'm telling you, like, I didn't try to use it any other time. Once that spray hit me real disrespectfully, and I didn't see a difference in my makeup lasting when I did use it, I was like, I don't see the purpose. So they can just go ahead and take that. Although I feel like it'd be cool to sit in the background of videos and stuff as like a prop or whatever, but since the DV and the SA allegations against, you know, the creators and whatnot, I just don't want no parts of it, so we can just go. I'll keep the palette though, because it's fine. Next I have these KVD Beauty eyeshadows. What are these called? The Metal Crush eyeshadows in shade Iggy and Paranoid. So Paranoid is the blue one and Iggy is the green one. Although I do really like these, I actually took one out. I think it's called Thrash that I really like the best and put an individual pot. It's just I didn't like these enough to do that with it, because you got to think I have a whole bunch of eyeshadows that I use a lot of the time anyway, so I don't really need individuals that often. When I do, I have liquids, and then I have dual chromes and special shades and all the other stuff. Aside from the fact I don't think they make these anymore. I mean, you can probably find them on like at TJ Maxx on the clearance rack or something, but I don't think you can even find these in Sephora. Like, I don't think this is a thing that the brand makes anymore, so I didn't feel the need to hold on to it. Okay, I'm gonna show these two small, sorry, well, I'll show this one itty bitty baby palette, and then I gotta go get the batteries because the battery's flashing. Next, I have this ColourPop and Hello Kitty Cherry Sweet palette. I thought this was a cute little palette. It's just this one I've never really reached for. And it's like out of all the ones I have, I created my own Nook ones, and then I have a nice little blue one from them. So if I went on vacation, this isn't one I would take. I would take the one I created, of course. And I would take the blue one, of course, because y'all know I love blue, green, and purple. And I made a green and purple one. And then I'd have the blue one and I'd be set. I don't really use pink that often. And when I do, I usually use it with green. But I don't know. This one just really doesn't do it for me. I used it one time and I haven't touched it since. So that said to me I didn't care about it that much and that it needed to go. Okay, y'all, I gotta get a battery, and then we'll get into this box that's full eyeshadow palette, and then I will call it a night. Make sure you subscribe, girl. Okay, y'all, so got my little battery together now. Now let's get into some other one. So I have this one from Sugar Frizzle called Trick Roar Treat. Although I do like the color story of this, this is like a red that shifts to like an orange and like a greenish type shade. I hate the fact that these are turned sideways, and I don't think they're magnetic where I can take them out, or else I would just take this shade out right here, honestly. So I'd rather just let them go ahead and take the whole palette or put it on Macari or something. With this one, I think I'm just going ahead and let them take it and keep it. It's really nice. It's really nice quality, but I just, you know. I actually am really enjoying the Elements of Evil that they came out with Doodles by the Bunny. It's the Halloween one they came out with. I think I took pictures of the eye look and I haven't shown it to you all yet on Instagram, but I'm really enjoying that palette a lot. At least the one time I did use it. The black in there is pigmented as all get out, and it's wonderful. And if you want to use a code, you can use code Cage Makeup over there. But next, I have the Juvia's Place Blushed palette. Sorry, the Blushed Rose. I ended up buying this because I seen the fan space talking about how nice it was. But I don't really reach for this palette that often. I would reach for the bronze one, believe it or not, over this one, because the bronze one is a good dupe for the Natasha Denona Mini Bronze palette. If you all haven't seen my video on Black Girl Friendly Versions of Cult Classic products, you definitely need to check it out. I show that and a few other like dupes to Natasha Denona palettes that are made by black owned brands like Juvia's Place. But I just don't feel myself reaching for this one that often, because again, I'm not really that big on pinks, and what I am is like more mauves and like purpley-ish to go along with the pink, not just pink on its own. So that's not really what I'm reaching for that often, and I figured they could try out some more Juvia's Place, because I don't remember how much I sent. I think I just sent neutral palettes over there, and I wanted them to try some more fun ones. No, I think I sent them my Sahara one, and that one's pretty fun. But I kept my Sahara too. Anyway, next we have the Hocus Pocus and ColourPop Witching Hour palette. So this was the second Hocus Pocus palette they came out with. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I did take this one shade out and switch it for something else, so that way I have more of the tones that I prefer with it. But it's a pretty boring basic palette. This is my least favorite out of all of these palettes, so that's why it's easy for me to let go of, just because I'm like, I have the first one, which is my favorite, then I have the third one, which has the best color story but doesn't have the best formula, and this one was just kind of like in the middle. It's about something I didn't care about, so I was like, I'll just go ahead and let them take it. So I'm gonna mail that stuff off at the beginning of the year, because my cousin told me not to rush to mail it, because she was like, it'll take forever to get to them anyway, so just wait till next year. And I was like, okay, say less, because it's about to be probably like $100 for all the stuff I got at home, in addition to this, because I have like foundations, concealers, and other things. I'm just showing y'all the eyeshadow palettes because I feel like since I talk about them the most, that'll be what you care about the most. So next I have this Unique Beauty Roots Pressed palette. This showed up to me shattered, and like I never used it just because I was irritated by it being shattered, because see, both these shimmer shades are like completely crumpled, so I have never even used this. If they're willing to press it and do all that, then they can do so, or they can just get rid of it themselves. That's up to them. I really was interested in the color story of this, but just based upon the packaging and it showing up the way it did, I never actually touched it because I didn't want to deal with the mess of having to clean all that up. So I used some of the other ones I got from them that I liked, but I wasn't gonna go on my way to clean that one up. Next, believe it or not, I have my Glam Light Margarita palette. So I kept the rest from this collection, but if you all remember, I always talked about how this was my least favorite one, and since Glam Light has so many colorful palettes, I feel like it wouldn't be that big a deal to lose this one, so that's why I'm finally just letting this one go, and they can try it out for themselves and see what they think about Glam Light. But yeah, this is my least favorite one out of this collection. And since they have so many other colorful palettes, like the cake palette, and then they have the ice cream dream palette, and then you turn around and you have the Rick and Morty palette. So they got 3 other colorful palettes that I don't necessarily need to be worried about. So I'm like, let me go ahead and just finally let this one go and free myself. So they are going to get my Margarita palette. I still think this is one of the collections that started the turning point of the quality of their eyeshadows, but that's just my personal opinion. Next, I have the Sugar Drizzle Hyper Nova palette. Oh, you can use Chloe Cage makeup at Glam Light. Karen has a code there as well. But this just happened. Like, this green just broke when I opened this up, because when I opened this up before to put it in this box, it was fine. So I don't know what happened with that, but it chipped a little bit. If y'all can't see, it's okay though, it's not that big a deal. I'm giving it away to my cousins so they can see how it was. This formula was okay, but it felt to me more like their older formula than their newer formula. Their newer formula, like the one just with the Doodles by the Bunny Halloween palette, is amazing. So I definitely prefer that one. And since I wasn't super crazy about that color story anyway, I had no problem letting it go. Next, I have, what is it, Strawberry Fields from Jacqueline Cosmetics. This is the palette that she had that was most interesting to me. And y'all know she does those more neutrals or whatever. So I figured I'd go ahead and give it to them. I actually have the one for her Mother's Day palette too. And I'm going to go ahead and give my cousins that as well. I was not impressed by the quality of this palette for the price point she charged for this. Like, I ended up getting mine, I think, for like 25 or close to 50% off on Morphe's website. That's the only reason I ended up with this palette, because I was not impressed with the quality of it at all. And I'm so glad I didn't pay regular price, because I'd have been pissed. Like, this is not giving. I'm not living. I'm not impressed with this at all for the price point that she charged for this. It was just meh. The color story is meh, because you got these more neutrals on the front, and then she tried to do a little fun pop with the tones of red on the bottom. But it's like, it's just not enough for me for the price point you're charging for this to be, you know, like, for the price point you charge, basically. Like, it was not all that. It was not fire at all. Like, I don't know, it reminded me of like the Too Faced mediocre palettes, like one I'm going to talk about right now, which is the Cosmic Crush palette. Oh my god, y'all, this was terrible. Even at 50% off, like I told y'all before, don't buy this palette at 50% off. It's not worth it, even at 50% off. Like, it's very neutral color story. Like, they have you fooled with these like little dark part at the end, but if you cover this up, like, majority of this palette is neutral and boring, like they always do. This is the fun pop that my eyes got drawn to, and that's why I was like, I'll try it out if it goes on sale. I did. It was truly disappointing. Excuse me. I'm glad that, you know, I'm getting some, somebody else is gonna get some use out of them. Hopefully they like it and appreciate it, because I give them a whole bunch of stuff. Like, every year I just go through and get rid of the stuff I'm selling if nobody wants to buy it, and send it to my cousin. So that's basically what this video is about. I'm trying to make room for new stuff, because y'all know I'm expecting to get new stuff every year, because I make videos every year. So I'm just showing you for once what I'm doing with the stuff and what I got rid of and why, as opposed to it just not being in the next collection video next year. Next, I have the Stupid Love palette from House Labs. Now, this is the original House Labs. I actually just did a video with this palette comparing it to her new palette, and actually had a decent amount of colors that was similar to it. I bought the volume 2 versus the volume 1, and the colors in here are somewhat similar to that, to where I got a similar eye look. Now, they're not exact, I say similar, just so I could try out both formulas and see how I felt about both formulas. That video should be coming soon. I'm hoping it comes at the beginning of January, just so you can see, because with the stuff I got going on now, I filmed stuff in 2023 and have been holding on to it for so long, so I was like, I want that to go up first. So since that'll still be on the somewhat newer side of 2023, I'm gonna go ahead and let it go into 2020. It'll newer side of 2023. I'm gonna let it go ahead and go to 2024. So the last palette I have to show you and talk about in this video is the, what is this? The Color Scheme Pro 777 from Plain and Makeup by Yolanda. Now, if you all remember, I was showing y'all this palette, and it ended up having like white mold in it. So I scratched all the mold out of it, and I'm gonna put tape over those colors and tell my cousins, like, these two shimmers had mold in them. So if you know, don't want to use them, I understand. That's why I put tape over, just so you know. And the rest of the palette was fine. It was just those two shimmers that I got that had mold in them. So just to be mindful of this palette. But I know they've never tried this brand before. They might not have ever heard of it before until I send it over. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it over to let them try it out. It is a shame though, because I really love the color story of this palette, and I really loved the looks I got with this palette. But my whole thing is, like, as many palettes as I have, I don't want to be hoarding ones that have, like, you know, mold in them, when I have similar color stories that don't have mold in them. So that's mainly my reason getting rid of this, and that's literally the only reason. Like, if it hadn't had that mold in it, we wouldn't be talking about getting rid of this. Although it does have quite a bit of green in it, that's my only thing. But Otherwise, you know, she was a good palette. She just messed up with that mold. Because once she got that mold, I was like, oh. No ma'am, no ma'am. But those are all the things I am giving away to my family members this year. So I'm proud of me, even if y'all not proud of me for doing that. But I'm telling y'all, it's so much more than this. But like, I got a huge box in my house that's full of foundations and concealers and other stuff like that. I'm just showing you like the palettes. And since we know I hoard and love palettes, it wasn't gonna be that many to begin with. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.